Hey everyone, welcome to episode 26 of the Spoiler Alert podcast. Not a lot of new movies to talk about this time around. Wasn't a lot that was coming out. We were going to have Turtle Talk. We're going to save Turtle Talk for next time. Ty, you will be seeing the new Turtle Gang, I guess.
I can't wait. I think it's supposed to be really good, and I'm not even a huge Ninja Turtles guy, but I'm just excited for this one.
I don't think I have ever seen a Ninja Turtles movie.
I for sure haven't. And that's what's wild. Like something about this one just got me. It's got a cool cast. It's got, the animation's pretty cool.
Didn't Michael Bay make the last one?
I think so. I think we might have even talked about that. He might have.
I think he did. And like people were like, it was the one that was kind of like live action and wasn't super. I mean, it was CGI, but it was like, how do I put this? They tried to make them look like actual turtles.
Yeah.
And then they ended up looking like really, really stupid. And people are like, dude, what the fuck is this shit?
Animated is for sure the way to go when it comes to Ninja Turtles, because nobody wants to see like a real life weird ass looking turtle doing ninja shit. Nobody wants to.
I love the meme from like I don't know if it was the 90s or 80s. I don't know how old the Ninja Turtles are. But there was one of the original Ninja Turtle movies with the dudes just in the costumes. There's that one scene where you can see the guy's normal head through the mouth of the Ninja Turtle costume. So, yeah, with going full animated, you can avoid that. But yeah. I am excited for that. Excited might be too big of a word. I want to see that is what I'll say, because, Spider-Verse has really got me hyped for more animated style films.
For sure.
And, that's an interesting one to me. And probably the first Turtle movie I care about seeing.
Honestly, yeah. Same here. The old ones are kind of nostalgic, though. I remember seeing that in like the 90s and like just those throwback weird costumes. They really just it's like nostalgic as hell.
They really went for it.
I had the action figures for sure. The one where it would be like a normal turtle head, but then you could flip it around and it would be the Ninja Turtle head.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. I was more of a Street Shark kind of guy, but I fucking love Street Sharks. So this episode, we will be going through upcoming movies. There's actually a decent handful here, some interesting ones that I've never heard of, which I bring this up almost every time. But when we do go through these upcoming movies, there's always something that I missed and like didn't care about until we get to it. Or like, why have we not heard of this? Yeah. And then, it kind of throws some excitement in there.
For sure.
Other than that, we will be doing a Convince Me to See one for each of us. I will be doing Theater Camp, and Ty, you'll be doing Talk to Me. And to end it out, we'll be going through a full review for Insidious, The Red Door. So let's hop right into the upcoming movies. We have a sequel, Meg 2, The Trench. And you hear Trench and I immediately go to the Mariana Trench because that's actually where scientifically they believe a megalodon might still be. It's just so deep, no one has any idea. But anyways, this is just a sequel to The Meg. You get Jason Statham coming back. I don't recognize any of the rest of this cast. Like some of the people from the first one obviously are not joining this one. And that makes sense. There's probably a lot of turnover. No more Rainn Wilson, no more Ruby Rose, because she was famous for half a minute for whatever reason.
Actually, whenever you said that, there's a movie she's coming out in this week that's on the upcoming movies I saw. That's so funny.
It is, and that's where I
So she's in the first Meg?
Oh, she is in the first Meg, because this was around the time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember when she got super famous. I think it was because of Orange is the New Black.
Something like that,
I could be completely wrong.
She might have gotten famous because of something else and then got cast in that.
Exactly. So she's like a knockoff Megan Fox. And
wasn't she even in, like, John Wick?
She was, yes. Yeah, so she... No joke. Her stardom peaked, and she was in everything. And then she was in nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened there. I don't know how she got famous other than they're like, she's an attractive lesbian. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
she's got a haircut like mine. And she's got tattoos.
Yeah, let's throw her in John Wick. She made sense in John Wick. She was good in John Wick.
Yeah, didn't she? Wasn't she silent? They didn't make her even speak. She was kind of there.
That could be the case. I just remember her being there. I'm like, yeah, you fit in with this assassin crowd.
Yeah, yeah.
But Meg 2 is just Jason Statham, it looks like. Ben Wheatley directing, which I don't even think he did the first one. He did
I don't
not.
even know who that is.
So he's made a bunch of dog shit, essentially. Nothing. I'm looking in his directorial list here has
I've not seen any
been
of these
very
movies.
good.
How do these people get movies? I was like, you know what? Give this
You gotta
guy the
know
movie.
people. That's really
Yeah.
that's really what it is. And I don't know how it works or anything like that. But it's like, he directed, it looks like 2 episodes of Doctor Who. I've never seen any Doctor Who, but I know people love it.
That's true. That's true. Is it big in the UK?
Yeah, exactly. And
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe this guy's English.
I believe he is.
Oh, he is. Wow, there we go.
So maybe he's just Jason Statham's friend.
Probably.
He's
They
just his
gotta
buddy. Bring him in.
I mean, the trailer for this does look wild. I mean, they're not taking themselves too seriously. The CGI kind of looks like crap. A little bit of that shark. I don't know if there's like a good way to do it. Even like the Sharknadoes and all that stuff. I don't think there's really like a great way to like CGI a megalodon eating Jason Statham.
Yeah, they'll give it a try. Even like the I don't even know what to call them. They're not scuba suits, but the big mechanical suits they're in, exploring the depths of the ocean is pretty wild.
Do we know what the budget is on Meg 2?
I can check. It is
Meg 2, The Trench.
It can't be much. There's nothing on IMDb yet.
New Meg, Old Chum. The budget's $129 million. God
damn. Who has this money?
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. I don't know. Who are they throwing this money at?
Could be a flop. We could be looking at a flop here unless it does pretty well like overseas or something.
The thing is, it's one of those movies that rating-wise, it's going to be bad.
For sure, and that's not going to help its case.
However, if you go into it low bar, you can still have fun with a movie like this.
For sure, I think so. That's why I thought maybe I'll go see it, but I just don't know. It doesn't help that it's also battling TMNT, which is getting pretty good reviews, and it's also going up against like, even though they've been out for 2-3 weeks now, Barbie and Oppenheimer are still just crushing it.
Yeah, this will be a streamer.
Yeah, for sure. New Meg, Old Chum. That's a great tagline.
I do like that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Old Chum.
Let's see. Next one we got up here, Till Death Do Us Part, an action thriller. This sounds a lot like not Catch Me If You Can. That's a great movie. What was the one where they got married? Hide and Seek? Was that it?
I don't know.
That horror comedy where the bride has to go
yep.
hide because they're going to try to murder. This sounds like that, but opposite. So after bailing on her wedding, a former bride-to-be must fight off her ex-groom and 7 angry killer groomsmen in order to survive the night. So I don't know. It doesn't sound good at all. However, I recognize the first 2 faces you see on IMDb. Cam, oh God,
good luck.
Giganet. I'm going to go with that, but I only recognize him. Bad guy from Never Back Down.
Oh yeah. This dude had his time. This dude definitely had his time, like early to mid 2000s.
Dude, he was in Twilight.
That's where I know him from.
The other guy, Jason Patrick, has been in quite a few things. He's definitely most famous for The Lost Boys from the 80s.
Okay.
And since then,
I was thinking that this Orlando Jones looks kind of familiar too.
Have you seen Sleepers?
No.
That's a weird one. It's good. Definitely too long, but a shit ton of people in it. Kevin Bacon, De Niro, Dustin Hoffman, Jason Patrick, Brad Pitt.
Oh wow.
It's kind of a mobbish movie. But not really. It's more focused on, just kind of like people from New York as children.
Hey, I'm fucking walking here.
They go to jail for a crime they may or may not have committed.
Okay.
But it's worth a watch. Just going off that, but that's where Jason Patrick's probably most famous. That and like I said, Lost Boys.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They don't even have names. It's just best man, groomsman 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like the groomsman's gonna be like the final boss before. Actually, I guarantee that's how.
Gotta be.
Like they go through all like the other groomsmen like one by one. It's like, oh no, I finally made it up to the best man.
Yeah.
He's gonna like almost kill her. She's gonna end up killing him, killing the husband.
It's
Ready or
B-movie
Not's the
central.
one that one was called.
Ready or Not. Okay, well, not
Yeah,
hide and
yeah.
seek.
They do play hide and seek though.
Yeah. See, they could have just called it hide and seek.
Definitely.
Damn them.
That one's
That's
actually pretty fun.
probably another one you stream.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
Next one here. This one's kind of interesting. I've been seeing advertisements for it. I can't really see it being great, but it's called Corner Office. As Orson, the authorities' newest employee, finds himself trapped in the absurdities of corporate life. His alienation deepens when he discovers a room he's told doesn't exist. So John Hamm and Danny Pudi are in this. So two pretty decently big names in this film. Doesn't look like there's a ton of people in it. Directed by Joachim Back, who has basically never directed anything, is what it comes down to. And that always confuses the hell out of me, how these new directors, like John Hamm's a decently big name.
Yeah.
How do you just be like, yo, you want to do my movie? And then
Money, and maybe if the script's decent enough, they're like, all right, hell with it. Yeah, I'll do it. But yeah, I don't know. What is this just a comedy then?
It is a comedy, yeah.
Huh.
However, this reminds me of a story I've heard. I don't know if you ever listened to like, they're called like creepy pastas.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So there was one that was, it sounds like a similar story to this, where a guy works somewhere and he finds a room that he's told doesn't exist, but it's more horror based. It's like you go in there and then you're tracked for the rest of your life for whatever reason. I don't remember the full story, but this reminds me a lot of that.
It kind of reminds me of what's that show on Apple Plus? It's the one where Jason Bateman is Jason Bateman in it? No, it's the one there.
Is it Derek from Step Brothers?
Severance. Yeah, Severance.
Yes, yeah.
Kind of like the same vibe. Like you go to work, you don't know what the hell's going on outside. I don't know.
And I actually thought this was a Apple TV movie, but it doesn't look like it is.
I'm gonna see if it's playing around here just for the hell of it, and it's not.
It is not. Okay, let's see if I also don't have any showtimes.
27% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. Jeez,
well, there you go.
Terrible. That's bad.
It has to be just a streamer.
Yeah, surely.
Because there would be showtime somewhere, and there's nothing.
I'd be willing to like stream this.
Yeah, that's what all of these movies feel like that are coming out. They're all just streamers. Sadly, some of them are in theaters, though.
That's the thing. Like Warner Brothers, if it wasn't for Barbie, they'd be hemorrhaging money right now because they won't just put stuff straight to HBO Max or Max, whatever the hell it's called now. Still Heinz Field to me, damn it.
That's right. Fuck Acrisure Stadium. Stupid ass name.
Twitter's still Twitter.
Yeah, none of that X nonsense, Elon. Moving on here, the next film, the one with Ruby Rose, is called The Collective. A young recruit to a mysterious agency of assassins finds himself going rogue on his first assignment, tracking down a dangerous group of human traffickers. So, like I said, she fits in with the assassin group, and here she is in The Collective. She is the star. You get Paul Ben Victor, who we have talked about before, where you recognize the name and you're like, man, why do I know this guy? It's because he's in fucking everything. Yep. The latest thing he was just in that I believe at least I saw was Plane with Gerard Butler. He was in the Pam and Tommy miniseries.
Okay.
So he's literally in everything.
Irishman, True Detective, Get Hard. Yeah, holy shit.
If you need a bad-looking Italian guy, it's him.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You also get a Tyrese Gibson in this. Is he still in the Fast movies? I know you saw it.
Yeah. They're just.
All right,
I guess they're just getting all like the C-list celebrities to be in this. That Mercedes Vernado, she used to be a WWE wrestler.
Oh, that makes sense. They're all turned into to the superstardom, I guess.
Click on her page on IMDb and then just look and see the video that plays, the
The
trailer.
one with the Hulk?
The Hulk. It's just pause on
It
Hulk Hogan's face. He's looking like a
comes in. He's like,
dumbass.
"What's going on? It's me." um, Director Tom DiNucci, Ben DiNucci's uncle. I don't know if that's true, but they're probably related somehow. Also has not directed shit. Is that a video game? That looks like a video game. Nope, that is just a really bad poster for a film.
This movie's not even rated. It says not rated. Opens today. No showtimes, of course. It's just like this has got to be like right on Amazon or something. Like, there's no way this is in the theater.
And I wish it would like say.
I know IMDb's kind of weird like that.
Which is also interesting because they're owned by Amazon.
Yeah. You'd think that they're like the top cast and stuff a lot of time is not actually like the stars and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's usually who's billed first.
Yeah. Crap
like that. But either way, streamer likely won't be touching that.
No.
Two more here. I can't say I'm super interested in either of them, but next one is Dreamin' Wild, a musical duo. Donnie and Joe Emerson spend everything they have to produce a record in the 1970s. So apparently this is a true story. It is a biography, but also two big names. Sorry, maybe even three plus as I scroll through this, but Walton Goggins, who I absolutely love.
Love Walton Goggins, dude.
Funny as fuck.
He is hilarious.
Do you know the first thing I saw him in?
What's that?
Sons of Anarchy. Have you seen Sons of Anarchy?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he's the transvestite.
I completely forgot he was in that.
Yeah, that is the first thing I saw him. Love this character and that, funny as hell. And he's just good. You know, obviously he has his comedic roles and all that, but he's all around a solid actor.
For sure. Dude, him and Vice Principals with Danny McBride is seriously one of the funniest characters of all time.
Billy.
Yeah, and then Gemstones too. So damn funny.
Billy.
I love Vice Principals, dude. That's such an underrated show, in my opinion.
That's fucking funny.
The best episodes whenever they go to the principal's house and they're just like they're gonna like wreck some shit, and then they just set it on fire. He's like, "Fuck it, let's do the whole place. We're gonna do the whole place." It's so funny, dude.
They are house down. Fantastic duo, and then now you know they're like the new Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly.
Honestly, yeah.
But Casey Affleck also in this film, along with Zooey Deschanel. So again, a pretty, you know, they're not all my favorite. Walton miles ahead of the other two, but in my mind, I'm not a big Affleck type guy, Ben or Casey. No, Zooey Deschanel also kind of bugs me.
Yeah, I'm not a big. Everybody's like obsessed with New Girl, whatever the hell that show is.
Yep.
I think she's too quirky for me. I don't know.
It's never good when you're the worst part of the show you're a star of.
She's like too whimsical.
Yeah, and I can't take her. I don't want to say I take her too seriously because that's who she plays in Elf, which is the only thing I remember her of. She's just like super like nonchalant, boring, but you know Will Ferrell loves her.
Yeah, Casey Affleck just in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, popping up in there.
This Beau Bridges guy has been in a lot of shit. Look at the eyebrows on that guy.
Beau Bridges. Oh boy, he painted those things on.
That's right.
Isn't Jack Dylan Grazer? Isn't he in It? Yes. In Shazam.
Oh yeah.
Luca. Okay, so he's up and coming. You know, he's in quite a few good things. But yeah, this will be interesting. This one actually does look like it's coming to theaters. I got some show times on my page.
Really?
But it's just another one that hid under the radar. Never heard of it.
Who are these? Who are the Donnie and Joe Emerson? What band are they? If it's a biopic.
It'll be like a band that's super popular. We just don't know the names.
Donnie and Joe Emerson.
Well, Dreamin'. Well, that's just them. It's because it's called Dreamin' Wild. There they are.
So is it just made up?
No, it's true.
Oh, the band's name's called Dreamin' Wild?
No, the album's name is Dreamin' Wild. It's just Donnie and Joe Emerson
Huh.
is the band.
I wonder how many monthly listeners they have on Spotify. Let's dive into
It
it.
says they're still active. Been active since 1978.
Damn. Donnie and Joe Emerson, 322,000 monthly listeners. They have one song called Baby that's got 31 million plays. Let's see if we've heard it.
It's actually they wrote it for Justin Bieber.
Can you imagine? I've never heard this.
Never heard it.
Very slow. I mean,
Yeah,
they kind of nailed it. They look just like these dudes.
So I
I'm
don't
sure they don't
know.
look like this anymore, but
This is there. So it says American musical duo. Their late 1970s work was completely unknown until it was rediscovered by a new generation of fans in the 21st century. Like people just
what?
let's see here. No commercial success until 2008, when record
What?
collector Jack Weichler discovered the record in an antique shop. He then began to evangelize it. In July 2012, Ariel Pink's Haunted Graffiti, who the fuck's that? Covered the song Baby. And in the same year, Light in the Attic Records re-released Dreamin' Wild, with Baby becoming an underground hit in October 2012. The brothers performed at a Light in the Attic anniversary concert in Seattle. So they're just some underground band who it's not so much like was it running up the hill
Oh
from
yeah,
getting
yeah.
super popular from Stranger Things, and like her I'm it's bad, I don't remember her actual name, but I saw she was making more money from that song now because of Stranger Things than she did when she actually wrote and performed it.
That's
So it might be
crazy.
the same thing for these guys. They just might be making bank because of this.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Honestly,
hell
good for
yeah.
them. I'm probably not going to see it, but good for
No,
them.
yeah, I feel the same way. Another streamer yet again.
Yeah. If I would have at least heard of this band, I would have maybe been in on it.
Exactly.
But I just have never heard a single song from them, and if it didn't have Walton Goggins in it, I would be so much more uninterested.
It doesn't it feels like a thing, like if you knew the band, obviously you care more, and it's not even like a thing that's gonna super uncover them and make them very exciting for us, in my mind at least.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's finish it out here. Last one, a drama. Bobcat Moretti. An obese MS patient takes up his late father's sport of boxing to overcome personal tragedy and find inner peace. This is filmed over the course of a year, allowing the lead actor Tim Robuto time to lose 154 pounds and embody the role. That's
shit.
pretty wild.
Oh my gosh.
Good for him on that. Tim Robuto, has he been in anything? He's Jimmy in one episode of The Sopranos.
Hey, Jimmy. Coolio was in this before he died.
Coolio is in this. And then Taryn Manning, who only plays meth heads. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. She's got
Everything
meth
she's
face.
in, meth head.
Real bad meth face. What's she most known for? Oh, Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black. But she
8
was in 8
Mile.
Mile. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Even whenever she's like on the
Always.
red carpet, just really like
Meth.
meth face.
Yeah.
She looks like Skeletor. My God.
But I've noticed that, like, everything she's in. Oh, she was also in Sons. She did 7 episodes of Sons. And I'm pretty sure she's a crackhead in that, too.
she's
meth,
she's
nonstop.
typecast as a meth head because of the way she
Can you
looks.
imagine?
No.
I mean, good. She's making money.
Surely,
we know that.
surely she's a millionaire from looking like a meth head, so good for her.
But yeah, it just, it's not what she had in mind when she was getting into acting.
At least she's not related to good old Peyton and Eli.
Yeah, it's actually their unknown sister.
Yeah, they just don't speak about her.
Yeah, we don't talk about her.
We left her chained up in the basement downstairs when we played football.
We don't know how she escaped. But director Rob Margolis hasn't made shit, along with the rest of the people we've talked about today. So again, take all of these grain of salt, see them at your own free will. We're not gonna push you to see really any of them.
No, not at all.
All right, Ty, hype us up with some movie news. Hopefully, something exciting.
A little bit of stuff, still pretty slow with all the strikes going on and all that, but we're getting a little bit of stuff here. The most important part of the news, and really like the shittiest part, is that Beyond the Spider-Verse has been delayed indefinitely. So,
Oh.
we just saw Across the Spider-Verse. Was it Across the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
We saw that, and we couldn't wait to see the sequel. We're like, oh, thank God we only have to wait a year.
Wow.
It's looking like it's going to be... Well, who knows, actually? We don't know. So Sony's pushing back a lot of upcoming movies amid the strikes here. This was due to come out March 2024, but now it has no release date. So, and even before this, there was rumors that the animation and all the voice work hadn't even been done for this movie yet, so they weren't even sure if they were going to make that to begin with. So I feel like that's why it's not pushed back. That's why it's just delayed indefinitely. So that just really sucks.
That is painful. Yeah, I wanted it to be exciting, Ty, not ruin my day.
I know. Well, good news is that Kraven the Hunter that was due out this October is now coming out in August, so that got pushed back about a year. Because that, looked like terrible.
Oh, I thought you meant this August. I was like, no.
No, it got pushed back farther.
I was like, that's now.
And then the Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel also got moved from December 2023 to March 2024.
That's okay.
So pushing some stuff back. Yeah, that was okay.
That's okay.
Pretty meh. Another thing here. So, are you familiar with George A. Romero?
Oh yeah, I fought him in Call of Duty.
Exactly. That's how everybody already knows him. Not because of all of his old ass zombie movies from the fucking 70s or whatever the hell. But anyway, his final zombie movies moving forward, even though he's been dead for years now, but his estate, they've partnered up with a production company, and his final zombie movie, Twilight of the Dead, the 7th and final installment of the Night of the Living Dead franchise, will be coming out. So I kind of looked into this a little bit. So the last one that came out was called Survival of the Dead. Guess how much money it grossed just for the hell of it, and guess its budget.
Survival of the Dead. When did it come out?
I don't know when, but it was the most recent.
Okay, most recent
of
one.
The Dead. The most recent
just
of
say
the Dead movie.
Before he died.
Sure.
I don't know. It made 10 billion.
No chance. So nothing. Not even 1 million.
Oh god!
It grossed $386,000 on a $4 million budget, and it has a 30% or 4.8 approval on Rotten Tomatoes. So who's watching these movies? It sounds like the nostalgia for George A. Romero, Night of the Living Dead. Really, does it have to be a franchise that's like still 7 movies going or whatever?
2009.
Yeah, that's not great.
God. Yeah, that was a film. It's like, obviously we've heard of Night of the Living Dead. There's so many comedies even that make fun of it. The whole South Park Night of the Living Homeless episode is a complete ripoff of that. And it obviously shot him in superstardom, all that good stuff.
For sure.
Why do we why I don't think we need any more of these. I think the story was finished.
Yeah, at this point it kind of seems like a cash grab, even though it's not even going to be much of a cash grab.
And that's how I read it. When you said, "Oh, his estate, they got together like, we got to make this movie."
We got to make
they're not making they're not bringing in any more money. That's why they're doing it.
Yeah, for sure. So that was a little bit of something, at least here. Then we got a bunch of reported Fantastic Four castings. So I will say I'm kind of like, I don't know, guess fed up with Marvel and DC right now. Just not putting out anything great at the moment. Yeah. Secret Invasion was one of the worst things I've ever even took the time to watch. So Fantastic Four, though, I am excited for that if they do it right this time. That could be good, but a couple of reported castings here. So Vanessa Kirby, we just saw her in Mission Impossible. She is supposedly going to be Sue Storm, Invisible Woman.
Okay.
Joseph Quinn, who is Bobby Munster, whatever the hell his name was in Stranger Things, the cool guy. He's gonna be Human Torch. This guy, I don't know how to say his name, Eben Moss Bacharach. He's Jimmy from the Bear, his cousin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Richie, not Jimmy, Richie.
Cousin.
Cousin. He's casting an unknown role, so we
Okay.
don't know who he's gonna be.
He's gonna play a fuck up, is what he's gonna play.
Probably. Last two things here are just, this could be anything. This could be anybody, anything. So the Thing is going to be apparently an overweight white guy.
Okay. Kevin James.
I hope to God not. That would just ruin I would never see another Marvel movie again if Kevin James is the Thing. And Galactus? What do you think they're going to have Galactus be? Kind of person?
The thing
Race,
is,
race, ethnicity.
So I don't know a ton about Galactus. I just know Galactus from Marvel Snap mostly.
Yeah.
And I know he pisses me off.
For sure.
So,
well, the thing about Galactus is that he's an alien. So
yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Isn't he like all purple and shit?
Yes, he could look like anything. So they want him to be Latino, though.
Wait,
they're gonna cast a Latino as Galactus, apparently.
Like, that's fine, but are they specifically looking for one?
I don't know. That's just, apparently Galactus is gonna be played by a Latino actor. It's just so random.
Which, yeah, it's fine if they land on that, but if they're like, oh, he has to be, I'm like, he's a fucking giant alien guy.
Exactly, he's a giant alien. Cast whoever the best option is. Yeah. Maybe it is a Latino guy. I don't know. It's just, it read weird whenever they said he will be Latino. I was like, but he's an alien.
They don't even say like a Latino actor that they have in mind. It's just, nope, he will be Latino. That's just weird. Okay. I mean, cool.
So who knows? Fantastic Four.
Danny Trejo.
They're gonna I'm here to just machete fucking Galactus.
Oh, God. Carlos Mencia, bring him back.
So hopefully they nailed like the Reed Richards casting and Doctor Doom and all that. Because these people are all, I mean, those three are good actors, but they're not high profile actors, I'd say.
I haven't liked a single Fantastic Four movie. How many times have they tried this?
I think I liked the Silver Surfer one in the time being, so I thought the Silver Surfer was cool. Galactus was in that one too, and they just made him a big puffy cloud of space dust.
Oh my gosh, yeah they did. I remember that now.
That pissed people off so bad, but I was like, whatever age I was, I just thought it was sick at the time. I was like, yeah, this movie is cool.
And it's interesting because, all the comic book readers, they know a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And about what things should look like, they'll hear like someone's like actual name and they're like, oh, that's this superhero. I'm like, oh, I want to be like that knowledgeable about stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I do remember the cloud. Even the Silver Surfer looked fucking weird.
Yeah, he looked like I don't even like melted tin can.
Wait a minute. Lawrence Fishburne was just the voice of the Silver Surfer.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Doug Jones was the body because he's just a creepy, slender looking dude.
Yeah, slender looking CGI.
Oh, that makes a ton of sense. Oh, no shit. Of course. Del Toro loves this dude. He puts him in all of his movies. He was the Pale Man in Pan's Labyrinth, the Amphibian Man in Shape of Water, and the Angel of Death in Hellboy 2.
Oh, wow.
So Del Toro loves this dude because he's fucking built weird.
Yeah, he's easy to mold. He's easy to put clay onto and make him look like a fish person. Yeah,
so he's the amphibian that the lady fucks in Shape of Water.
I never watched that movie just because it's pretty much like, hey,
dude, it's a trip.
I'm in love with a fish man.
It's a weird one. I saw that one in theaters alone, and it just felt weird because there's like not a ton of people there. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go see a movie today, and I'm sitting there, and she just starts developing this relationship with this fish guy, and then it's like, I'm gonna fuck this fish. I'm like, what? and guess what? Best Picture winner. So there you go.
I was gonna say it won the Best Picture.
Fucking wild.
Now the only fish man I could see any woman having relations with is John Cena Mermaid Ken.
Oh, I was gonna say Jason Momoa Aquaman, but that works
Oh
too.
yeah. That either one, probably Momo, you're right, but John Cena with the mermaid tail is fucking
Yeah.
hilarious too. Oh my. That's the end for news though. There's nothing.
Okay.
We're scraping the bottom of the barrel, brother.
We are. Fantastic Four. Yeah, it's one of those things, right? Where I think they keep trying Fantastic Four
Mm-hmm.
because that was Stanley's first superhero gang, right? I'm pretty sure that's true. I
Yeah,
think he
maybe.
wrote the Fantastic Four, and that was the one he was scared to share with Marvel, and his wife was like, "You got to do it, you pussy."
Do it.
and then he did, and now everything's the way it is now. But I'm pretty sure Fantastic Four came first for Stan Lee, and that's why they probably keep trying to push it. It's just like I've read early Fantastic Four comics, and maybe for the time they were exciting, they
Mm-hmm.
bored the absolute piss out of me.
Yeah, it's like if you're not the Avengers, they're just kind of like the Avengers light.
Yeah, and they're like,
Their powers aren't even that sick. The one guy's stretchy, the one girl's invisible, Human
yeah,
Torch just lit on fire.
it's kind of like what you would think of as like the most generic superpowers. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
what would you want to do? Well, I want to be able to turn invisible. Well, there, okay, invisible woman. I want to be super strong. All right, well, you can't just be super strong. Something has to be wrong with you. Let's make you ugly and a big stone guy, And then, yeah, super generic type of powers, and I don't think they're as nuanced as we want a lot of superheroes to be. I think like that's the biggest thing about Batman for myself
Mm-hmm.
is he's a nuanced superhero. It's like he's a superhero not so much because he wants to be, because he feels like he needs to be, and he just feels human in,
Yeah.
in that sense. And it can get dark and gritty in that way. And there's just not a lot of that with at least the Marvel movies they're putting out.
Yeah, for sure.
And Fantastic Four is probably the again, I'll please prove me wrong, people who have read all the comics. There's probably some real gnarly Fantastic Four issues out there, but I haven't read them.
Yeah, me either. Not a big comic book guy.
Oh, I love them. I get real nerdy with that. Mostly manga. There's a few
Yeah, yeah.
comics I'll slap around here and there, but give me the Japanese stuff. But Ty, I guess I will do my best to convince you or not to see Theater Camp.
Okay, let's do it.
So we talked about this movie. It felt like a while ago,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
they're like, "Yeah, this is coming out," but it seemed to be kind of limited release, nothing super wide
Mm-hmm.
around it. But just to give people a recap, essentially what the plot is. Um, the eccentric staff of a rundown theater camp in upstate New York must band together when the beloved founder's broy son has to keep the camp afloat. So essentially, what happens first, like 5 minutes of the movie, the owner of this theater camp has a seizure and goes into a coma immediately, and like that's where the ridiculousness kind of kicks off, and it's just funny. It sounds fucked up to say a seizure in a coma is funny, but it is. That they make it funny because she's at like a, a middle school musical, and they flash the lights and she just goes down. and so she starts the movie in the coma, and then our boy Jimmy Tatro comes in to take over the theater camp, and he just plays himself. It feels like he's Zonder,
Thunder.
that is his character in basically everything he's in. Is just a dumb jockey bro dude, and that's
Yeah,
exactly what he is in this.
and that's
So
okay.
yeah, absolutely fine. He knows his role, much like that lady knows she's a meth face. He knows that he's the bro, and there's
Real
actually
bro.
that's right, of Simi Valley. um, there's actually a decent handful of people in this film that I didn't really recognize at first
Mm-hmm.
until I started watching The Bear, because
Ah.
Sydney Ao, oh god, Edabiri, I
Mm-hmm.
butchered that. Sydney from The Bear, she
Yep.
is
Yep.
in it,
Okay.
and
Yep. See her.
then Molly Gordon, who is oh boy, Claire Bear in The Bear, his girlfriend or love interest, whatever she is at this point. Um, she is also in it, and she plays a pretty big role. They're both good. Um,
Okay. I see that Patty Harrison from I Think You Should Leave is in this too. She's so
yeah,
damn funny. Does she have a big role in this?
uh, kind of. She's somewhat a she's the antagonist of the movie. So essentially, the theater camp's kind of run down. Mom's in a coma. Jimmy's running the show now, and this woman, her character, Patty's character, essentially works for the rival camp, and the rival camp is all the rich kids and everything, just like every other camp movie.
Mm-hmm.
And she essentially wants to buy the camp, and
Okay.
so she's kind of the antagonist. She's, you know, trying to buy the camp, and everyone's like, "No, we can't sell the camp. This is where us weird, geeky theater people come in, and we get to be ourselves." You know, so that's kind of the movie. Pretty generic story in that sense. Um, However, I should say I am gonna try to convince you to see it. Is where I landed on this. This isn't one I'm going to tell you to stay away from.
Okay.
I think there are some jokes that are just silly, outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's a stupid thing like they'll be auditioning for roles of a play musical that they do every year.
Mm-hmm.
And this girl used I guess it's a real thing. I don't know. But it's something you put around your eyes and it makes you cry. And she got called out for it. It's like this 10-year-old girl. They're like,
Oh.
you cheated. You can't fucking do that. And so like they like go off on her for using these tear making it's like a chapstick, it looks like. But it's just like silly shit like that.
That's
However, I
funny.
will say um a lot of the joy and funny things I got from it was from being involved in theater and musical chorus
Okay.
shit growing up.
Yeah, yeah,
And
okay.
because they make fun of that pretty damn well. You know,
Okay.
you get the people who are like way too into it. Like, you know, we had those kids in high school that are way
Oh
too
yeah,
into chorus.
for sure.
And it's like, I was in chorus. A lot of my friends were in chorus. And it's like, we were there. We enjoyed it for the most part, but we weren't super into it.
Yeah.
And you get those people who are super into it, and it really makes fun of them.
Fringe,
So
yeah, fringe.
I would say a lot of my enjoyment came from that, and that's probably why I ended up a little higher on it. Um, but I watched it with Sophie, and she loved it as well. She thought it was hilarious.
Okay.
So you don't have to, you know, have been in that scene to enjoy
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It just, I think it does help.
Okay.
So I ended up landing at a 6 out of 10,
Okay.
which, you know, that's not an incredibly high
Yeah,
score or
yeah.
anything, but
Middle of the
I
road, eh?
had, yeah, yeah, you know, I had quite a few laughs throughout it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Jimmy Tatro just makes me crack up with everything he does, honestly.
He is funny. He is
So,
funny.
so he plays himself. That makes it funny. The story itself is, like I said, pretty played out. There's two camps, one's poor, one's rich. They're
Mm-hmm.
rivals. It doesn't go super into that. It's more about like the individual characters themselves and how um they're just really into theater, and it's silly in that sense. But I would convince you to see it. It is a very short movie. It's only like an hour and a half, probably
Mm-hmm.
less if you cut out, you know, credits and shit.
Okay.
So I think it's worth giving a try, just because there are comedic scenes in there that are just kind of over the top, outrageous, and they should hopefully make you laugh.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it sounds like something I'd watch. Maybe I think Tay would definitely probably like this one. She's a Real Bros fan too. She likes Jimmy
Yeah.
Pitcher. She was a theater kid, kinda. So I
Yeah.
know. I think we'll throw this on sometime soon. Check it out.
Yeah,
See how
it's
it stacks
silly.
up.
It's quick. So, you know, even if you don't like it, you know, it's not gonna take up too much of your time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Consider me convinced.
Did it. Ty, movie I do know I want to see, but
Uh-huh.
I know you saw it and maybe it wasn't as good as you expected. So should I still be watching? Talk to me.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. So, talk to me. It's currently at a 95% certified critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, which is
Wow.
really good. That's really good. 82% critic score or audience score, so a little bit lower, and it's about a 7.5 on IMDb. So we know now that it's when a group of friends discover how to conjure spirits using an embalmed hand, they become hooked on the new thrill until one of them goes too far and unleashes terrifying supernatural forces. So, from the trailer, you know it's super interesting, like premise. You know, it's not really like any of the other horror movies we've seen in a while. It's kind of fresh new take. You know, A24 they don't really miss. So you know, going into it, I had a lot of hype, and that's why I think I screwed myself with this one from the jump. I saw this movie everywhere on TikTok and just on the internet, people calling it one of the scariest movies of the decade and just really hyping it up. So it's been on my radar for a while now. I think after I first saw the trailer for it, I brought it up on the pod. I was like, I can't wait to see this. It's gonna be nuts. But having said that, I think that even though it's a good movie, it didn't blow me away, and it's not even my favorite horror movie of the year. Um, but like I said, A24 doesn't miss, so I'll go into it a little bit more. So I think it kind of starts off hot, you know, with a hell of an intro, and then it kind of mellows back down for a bit, and then it kicks back up, and it's got like some intense like crazy horror scenes where I was genuinely like my jaw dropped. I was like, holy shit. And then it kind of just slows back down, but that's not really a bad thing for you know the way the movie goes. But it is only an hour and a half long, and it did start to feel like it was longer than that. Like whenever I went, it felt like I was in there for quite a while because it does slow down. Like, but that's also because it's not just jump scare after jump scare like that. It's more like I wouldn't say in your face, but it's more like real horror. It's like something happens, and then that's like kind of sets the tone for the rest of the movie, and then some more shit happens, and then that kind of things happen from there. It's not just jump scare, jump scare, jump scare, jump scare, like another movie we're going to talk about.
Mhm.
um, really good performance though from the main actress here, Sophie Wilde, who's like pretty much the main character of the movie. She's pretty much relatively unknown. Most of the people in this movie I hadn't really heard of before because they're all Australian. The one that I did recognize is Miranda Otto, and people will probably recognize her from the Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh.
She's Eowyn.
What was her name?
Uh,
I'm sorry. For in real life,
Eowyn.
Miranda Otto. Okay, I
Miranda
see her.
Otto, yep. You'll probably recognize the face.
Okay, yes, there she is. She's in. Yeah, starting from the Two Towers. Nice.
Yeah, I didn't know that she was Australian, but then again, I only ever saw her in Lord of the Rings, so probably why. War of the Worlds too, I guess. Way back in the day. Chilling. Oh, she was in the Sabrina TV show too. That's probably the most recent place I saw
Probably.
her. That makes sense. That show, talk about really falling off a cliff, huh?
Mary Ann, the mom in War of the Worlds.
Maybe?
I could be wrong. 'Cause if that's the case, she was only in the movie for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, if that. Not she hasn't. This lady hasn't really been in a ton of stuff though. So anyway, you recognize her face. Everybody else,
Yes.
relatively younger Australian actors, never really seen them before. So and that was cool. The one guy's name is Duckett. If this couldn't be any more Australian, the guy's name is Duckett. So that was
It's a good
funny.
one. Kind of like
Never heard that name before.
Dundee.
But it does end really well. I like how it wraps up, and that's really what saved the movie for me from having a lower score. So I think I'm gonna end up at about an 8 on it. I liked it, but I was expecting more from it.
Fair.
So it's weird. I feel like eight's a fair score. I didn't want to go any lower than that because I did like it, but any higher would be I couldn't go any higher. So, but as far as horror goes this year, I liked Evil Dead Rise more and Scream 6 just a little bit less.
Okay.
But I think
Sounds
it's
good.
definitely worth a watch.
Looking at A20. Wow. Looking at Rotten Tomatoes, this is actually their number 3 horror movie of 2023.
Yeah, and I think I saw something about this being like A24's biggest opening ever or something something actually crazy like that. It was either biggest opening of like that day or biggest horror opening, something like that.
Jeez.
Which kind of shocked me. I was like, what?
However, they do have Megan at number 4. So.
Oh my gosh, I forgot all about Megan.
I don't know how they did that, but
I genuinely forgot all about Megan when I looked at my list of movies I saw this year and horror and all that. Wow.
yeah.
Feels
But
like
yeah,
forever ago.
high ratings all around from all critics. It seems like, which is
Not a bad movie.
Yeah.
I would definitely say it's easily like a 7 or higher, and that's what everybody seems to agree with. That's why it's certified fresh. So definitely worth a watch. I think it's solid horror movie. It's not just lame jump scare, nothing happening.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's
cool.
This is something I gotta ask and try to be as vague as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't want to spoil anything.
But one of the things I hate most in horror movies is just how dumb they make their characters.
Mm-hmm.
Are the characters in this movie only getting into more trouble than maybe is necessary just because they make dumb decisions?
No, I think it's all justified, and I think the kid actors are all pretty good, honestly. So
Nice.
it comes across as like well done. It doesn't seem dumb or corny or anything like that.
Cool. Yeah, obviously Conjured Spirits is pretty dumb to begin with. Maybe don't do that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
But you got to have something to do in the movie.
They basically do it like a drug. They're like tripping balls. Like they do the hand, and they're just like tripping balls from the hand.
Nice. Yeah, this is one I definitely want to watch. It as soon as it popped up on our radar, I think both of us saw it as it had potential.
Definitely.
Especially as far as
too,
horror movies go. Yeah.
The black eyes, all that stuff. It's creepy.
Creepy. Cool. We talked about it with Scream, and I think it's fair enough to kind of say some little spoiler things about Scream. It's been long enough in my mind.
For sure.
Are there any does anyone get completely brutalized to the point that they should die, but they don't? Anything stupid like that?
Damn near close. Yeah, damn near close.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
Damn near close.
Cool. Anything else you got to say about Talk to Me? We're seeing in theaters.
I think streaming it at home would be just fine.
Okay.
I saw it in the theater, but I don't know how much longer it'll be there. So if you can find a showing, sure. If not, I'm sure it'll be streaming here not too long from now.
Oh, sounds good to me. That's probably what I'll end up waiting for, but I will definitely get a rating in there before the end of the year so we can check out what our top movies were for this year.
For sure. And this movie's Australian as hell just because if you scroll down to the quotes part of IMDb, the main quote is from a woman named Haley, and she says, "Yo, this spirit's a cunt." They just toss that word around like it's nothing down there in Australia.
I love it.
It's hilarious.
I think I'd fit in.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, definitely giving that one a watch. Even just from what you said here, I'm kind of more excited to see this one than Theater Camp. I already saw Theater Camp, obviously, but if I didn't, this was one I was more excited to see than Theater Camp.
And it already doubled up on its budget. I never realized this was down here on IMDb. That's actually way more convenient than the way I do it. But budget was 4.5 mil, and its worldwide total so far is 11.5 mil. So that's good.
What that says to me is they'll make a sequel.
They could, and A24 is just going to keep doing these horror movies, man.
Hey, there it is. They are, and it's actually going to be a prequel.
Oh, I like that.
So Talk to Me prequel film based on opening scene has already been shot.
I like that.
There you go.
That's cool. They did it like freaking Pearl and X.
That's right. That's it back
awesome.
in time. Fuck going forward.
Do more of this. Film two movies at once, release them one after another. I'm here for that.
I guess that's both been an A24 thing.
Yeah.
They're just killing it.
If they come up with a good premise, then they just roll with it.
You know what I might want to look into is A24 has been killing it. They make I don't want to call them low budget, but they're
It is low
lower
budget though.
budget.
Yeah, it is low
Yeah,
budget.
it's
As far as
definitely
like, it's
lower
usually
than
10 mil or
others.
less. Yeah, 10 mil or less, and they just, I would even say less than 10 mil usually.
Yeah.
One of their highest budgets was probably Beau's Afraid.
Yeah, and that's where like I'm curious, like if we look at profit, I bet their margins are bigger
Oh, for
than
sure.
those big budget films.
Definitely.
So that might be interesting to see, and they're probably fine just spitting out movie after movie, a few million here, a few million there, and then you just get some bangers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's safer than, let's throw $300 million at an Ant-Man movie and hope that works out. Ty, we will end there with a horror film, but we will also jump right into another horror film. We will be doing our review now for Insidious, The Red Door. Ty, we'll quickly do spoiler list because this is a movie that feels like a lot of what you say will be have some sort of spoiler in it, just because that's kind of how horror films work almost.
Yeah.
So let's just kick it off, Ty. I'll say I actually just watched it last night. I'll start off with saying I really enjoyed the first one.
Mhm.
I have not seen the rest of them. I have not felt like they needed to be made, so I did not see them.
Same here, and I might have seen 2.
Okay.
After that, it's all a toss up from there.
Yeah, I think that might actually be the same here for me. And because of that, it felt like I was lost. Did you feel lost?
No, I thought that's one thing I thought this movie did okay, was that kind of just like picked up what was happening there. Patrick Wilson, dad, mom, divorce, yeah, kind of the kid doesn't like the dad. They don't get along very well.
Mhm.
That's pretty much what I took from it. I didn't really look too deep into what was going on there.
Yeah, because this is not spoiler. This is in the trailer, so this is obviously years later from the other films. Kids obviously grown up, all that shit. And it's like they don't remember what happened to them.
Yeah.
And like to me, I was like, what? Wait, what the fuck do you mean you don't know what's going on?
You're in the 5th film of the franchise. What do you mean you don't know what's happening to you?
Yeah.
That was one of my notes. Like, this is the 5th film in the franchise. What do you mean?
And I think where it does come together, so like the first like hour, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, I'm like, man, did I miss something by not seeing the other movies? I really felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of tell you what went on in the other movies after an hour or so. They kind of do not exactly flashbacks, but kind of like flashbacks.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's where I didn't really like that format, I guess, and I ended up pretty low on this film. I went with a 3 out of 10.
Same here, 3 out of 10.
Yeah, it was not nearly as good as the first one, and again, that's the only one I completely remember. First one fucked me up. I was obviously younger and everything. So
yeah, 12 years ago that movie came out.
Okay, all right, that hurts.
Uh-huh.
Young, loud theater. That red face fucked me up my dreams forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Patrick Wilson gave it a go. This was his debut as a director, and it doesn't always work out. Most of the times it doesn't work out for people.
Yeah.
Their first time directing. This is not a movie to go see in the theater.
Thank God we didn't.
Yeah.
I had tickets for this. I had a ticket. I mean, it was like $1. I got it on a special, but
it wasn't worth $1.
No. Maybe it would have been easier to pay attention to in the theater, being there and like, I don't know, with better sound quality, all that picture, but like, man, I just found this movie to be boring as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I am with you.
I was hurting, man. It was like the slowest hour and 40 minutes of all time.
And there were a handful of decent jump scares, but they weren't like, how do I put this? They weren't like valuable jump scares. They were kind of just thrown in.
When he's in the MRI machine, that was a pretty actually cool scene moment.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I had the jump scare counter going. I lost count at 7 because I think because this movie gets so damn boring that even the jump scares stop.
Yeah, after well, actually, we can hop into spoilers. That way we can discuss the jump scares and all that. Ty, I think we're in agreement. This isn't worth seeing.
No. So, I mean, if you're worried about spoilers, who cares? It's not even worth.
Not great.
Yeah.
So overall, we're at a 3. But if you do not want spoilers, now's your time to head on out.
Take it easy.
Yeah, Ty, the jump scares, I was with you. You know, after the first, well, honestly, the first few didn't even get me. There was the ones that did get me were when he was in, what is it called, The Further or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like the upside down, and it just feels that
such a stupid hack thing now. Like, oh, we have to go into the dream world or whatever.
There's another dimension.
Yeah.
Does there have to be? You know, why can't it just be like creepy, spooky ghost shit?
Exactly.
And also, 5 fucking times you said this. It's the 5th movie. You don't know what the hell is going on. How is this red bastard still here?
Exactly. And it's like, it's just like, they go. What happens in this movie? Nothing of consequence happened in this movie at all. Nothing happened.
They're like, oh, I remember my dad trying to kill me, and that's where I was also like, wait, when the fuck did that happen? Obviously, it happened in a previous movie that I didn't see, and that's why. And I think they knew that. I think they knew people were not going to remember what happened in the previous ones, and or mostly, or they didn't see them, because why are we watching Insidious 4?
Exactly. And I feel like with these Insidious movies, people just see Insidious and they don't care if it's the 4th one. They're just going to go see it. So it's not like they're trying to do too much to keep them all connected. They're just like, people will go see it. Like this had a $16 million budget. It made $174 million worldwide. So they're going to keep cranking out these fucking movies, but, you know, they're just not going to be great.
I think there's like a timeline that horror movies go through. You know, it's like they start out, you know, the original name, Insidious, and then they do a sequel. Okay, chapter 2, that makes sense. But once they start putting in like the other phrases, that's when you know it's going downhill. Like
same thing that happened with Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, they're like,
except I don't think Paranormal Activity 2 was any good. I can't remember though.
I don't. But you saw it, right? We all saw it just because of how wild the first one was. How much of a impact that made. But like that feels like that's been a thing forever. You know, I think even the Friday the 13th movies, right? It was Friday the 13th, and then it was Friday the 13th Part 2, the final chapter. But then they get to Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. And that's when you know they just start getting shit.
Yeah. Yep.
So
for sure.
It's a thing with horror movies.
We need to talk about Patrick Wilson too, because he's a okay actor, I would say. You know, B level actor at best. He's not going to be crazy. He's not going to steal a show or anything. He's a good actor though. Yeah. But for his directorial debut, it feels like he's trying to do way too much. He felt like he was trying to make a fucking Oscar-worthy script in this movie, and it's doing way too much with it. It was it was not great.
It felt like he was trying to literally get artsy, because the way they close the fucking door is by painting over it.
Yeah, like this movie just seriously nothing happened. That's what drive me the most. That's what pissed me off the most, is that for this hour and 47 minutes, nothing really happens. Yeah,
and so again, and I'm hoping it's not just because I didn't see the other movies, but it's like, oh, there's this red door. The red door, that's the problem. And then how did the red door kind of come to be? It's almost like they're saying that because he painted the red door, that's what reopened it.
Yeah.
And then the way they close it is he just paints it all black. And also, if fucking you are trying to shut this door as fast as you can because the red demon guy's trying to kill your father, and you're taking the smallest fucking paintbrush trying to paint over this thing, dump the damn paint onto the canvas.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
And also, whenever he first paints this, or whenever he first does the charcoal in art class, and he draws this and he bleeds on it, he comes back and spreads the blood around. There's no way that blood would be that fucking wet. Still, that blood would have been dried up, 3 hours ago. And he's like, painting around with it like it's fresh paint. Brother, you cut your finger and it would have been dried up 3 hours. That was stupid too. That pissed me off.
My favorite types of scenes in these films are when little things happen in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I think, oh shit, not Bly Manor. What was the other one before that? Hill House. The Haunting of Hill House. That series is the epitome of putting shit in the background, not focusing on it at all.
Yeah.
And just have like shit, like the ghosts. They're just in the background. And like once you notice them, you're like always looking for them. And I love that shit. That is so cool to me.
Too. It's the best.
And they tried doing that in this with the I guess it was his dad, supposed to be his dad, Patrick Wilson's dad, when he was doing a horrible job at the memory game. And like maybe that's the point they were trying to get across, at his memory shit. But by God, you just flipped like the picture of your mom 2 flips ago, and you're like, oh no. I just can't find it.
That was so stupid.
It made me shit myself
then
a little
the dude
bit.
just freaking, you see the dude outside, and you're like, oh, there's the guy. He just busts through the fucking door.
Yeah. And that's how they fucking ruined it, right? Because you see the dude in the background, you're like, oh shit, that's creepy. They're not bringing too much attention to it. Yeah, it was obvious, middle of the screen, whatever. But they're not bringing too much attention to that. And I'm like, oh, I love it. And then they made him disappear. I'm like, okay, sick. But then he crashes through the damn window. And I'm like, okay.
And that just made me laugh. It didn't. I was like, dude, just fucking send it through a fucking pane glass window.
And he chases him up the stairs in the most like cartoonish manner.
Oh yeah.
Where he's like missing every other step and like sloppily making his way up there. And I'm like, you're a ghost demon, whatever thing. Why do you have to travel around like that? I mean, I don't know the laws of all the ghost travel, but
yeah, it's like, are they demons? Are they just ghosts? What is it? Like, what are they actually there? Are they in the dream? Who knows?
Exactly.
Dumb premise. 5 deep now. I get it, but
too many.
A lot of corny dialogue in this one too. Like whenever they're like fighting at the beginning, he's like, "I'm your father, though. What are you talking about?" It was bad.
Drive you to school. Go to this frat party. It'll be a great time.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you're a Sigma Kappa? Me too. I back in my... He's like, shut the fuck up, Patrick Wilson.
I'm like, how do you remember that, you coma ass? Like,
yeah. Fuck him.
Yeah. And then,
the quirky roommate, too, like, doing too much with all that, too. They tried to make it like a romance movie all of a sudden.
Yeah, they were...
Love interest. I mean, she did have the line in the movie, too, when she came up and said, do you want to blow my hooter? Her freaking piano keyboard thing with the fucking draw attached to it.
I did laugh at that. That's stupid humor.
It was just dumb. They got me.
That's what needs to be in the promoted quotes here for on the IMDb page. You want to blow my hooter?
I think Insidious Chapter 6 should just be called Insidious Chapter 6, The Hooter. The Haunted Hooter.
And it's just her because now she's somehow infected with this shit. And I don't really like that it's they made it a genetic thing, right? Because he passed it on to his son.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I'm like, that's why does that make sense? Why can you pass such a thing down genetically? But again, maybe we're digging too much into a stupid horror film about the supernatural, but comparatively to other horror films, even other horror films in the same damn series, it just wasn't good.
Yeah, no. And it's so easy to get these confused with The Conjuring, but I would dare say that The Conjurings are all pretty much way better than these.
Oh, 100%.
Patrick Wilson and stuff, but yeah, they're a lot better. The spin-offs of The Conjuring haven't been great.
Yeah.
All the Annabelles and all that. I think
that's where
Annabelle would have been okay.
That's where it's kind of similar, right? You get the colon in the title and then the phrase after it. Anytime it's like a part of the Conjuring universe or shit like that, you're like, that's not going to be good.
Conjuring and Conjuring 2 were good. The third one, The Devil Made Me Do It, the most recent one, it was okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see the first couple Annabelles, or I still haven't seen any of the Annabelles or like the nuns, but I did see Annabelle Creation because I saw that one was okay. That one was it was decent.
The Conjuring 2 might be my favorite of the bunch. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that one because they incorporate the nun, but it's not focused on the nun. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, the nun's fucking creepy as shit. And
She is
then they're
creepy as
like,
shit.
all right, we're gonna make one just about the nun. I'm like, that's gonna be fucked up. And it wasn't.
Yeah, apparently it just sucks.
Yeah.
And then we got the Nun 2 coming out, because I guarantee that the first Nun just fucking killed at the box office. Let's see real quick while I'm on it. Budget was 22 mil, and it's, oh my, this is disgusting. $22 million budget estimated, and its gross worldwide, $365 million.
Well, I mean, Ty, if we want to talk about that, did we talk about the Red Doors budget and worldwide gross?
Yeah, yep. It was like, what,
Like,
16 and 173 or something like that?
yeah, 170.
I mean, horror just makes like horror, especially part of like these franchises that have been popular for the last, I don't know, decade or whatever. They make money. They have that name, they have that Insidious or Conjuring in the title, and the people are going to see it. And people know that the Nun is from those universes, so they go see it. The Nun 2 comes out pretty soon. I don't know what the hell happened in the first Nun, but Nun 2's coming out.
I know I'm going to see it. Like it's
I'll probably see it. Yeah, I'll probably see it.
Ass, right?
It's a good October movie. Hopefully, it's coming out in October.
It's September 8th.
Close enough.
Close enough, yeah.
This one looks like a little bit better. It's got like so the lady that's like the main person in The Conjuring, like the Vera Farmiga, it's got her younger sister in this.
Oh, interesting.
Tessa.
It is a sequel. Yeah,
The
it'll
Nun
be
2, Electric Boogaloo.
We know we'll see it, and that's because I'm always hungry for a good horror film. They're just really hard to come by. Ty, I think to save the people, we should probably close it out here.
Yeah, we'll close it out so everybody can watch the Hall of Fame game. Yeah,
and enjoy that one. Pro tip from our friends at Sleeping with the Numbers, totally not just me. Don't bet on preseason games.
I thought about it, but I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, no, they're always a mess.
It's about that time. I'm glad football's here. I'm glad we watch movies. Go see Amityville in Space, everybody. We'll talk about it.
Check it out. Coming up next episode. All right, we will see everyone next week with I don't know. We'll figure out what we're doing. We don't know.
Something.
Bye-bye.
Bye.